morning, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, and colleagues from across the globe. Welcome to Day 2 of Global Engagement and Empowerment Forum 2024. I hope you found the discussion yesterday insightful and engaging. Today, we will continue our journey with featured sessions that delve deeper into pressing issues related to sustainable development and global collaboration. Our first session today, posted right here in Grand Ballroom B, is titled Nano and AI Technologies in Diagnosing Disease. This session is organized in partnership with the Institute for Basic Science Center for Nanomedicine and Yonsei Institute for Advanced Study. It aims to spotlight the groundbreaking advancements in nanotechnology and artificial intelligence and their central role in enhancing disease diagnosis. Under the moderation of Professor Lee Jae-hyun from the Institute for Basic Science Center for Nanomedicine at Yonsei University, we'll engage with the distinguished panelists from diverse backgrounds. Professor Lee, the floor is yours.
Good morning, everyone. So actually, my name is Jae-hyun Lee, as introduced, and then it was a really great opportunity, and it's been a great honor to be here and then present, moderate this session. So, can you show me the slide here? Oh, yeah, okay. So here we go. Yeah. So. Yeah, so let me first introduce our center first. Actually, our center is IBS, Institute for Basic Science, and then it is one of the biggest basic science institute in Korea, and then it was established in 2011, and then it is one of the largest scale, the institute. It has a huge amount of the funding given by the government. And then it does not have any like ending period, so that the no limit on research period, so the long-term basic science research is possible. So the IBS around the country, there are 33 centers around the country, and then in Seoul area, Seoul National, and then Yonsei and Korea University and Ewha University, there are 7 centers, and then in Yonsei University, we have 1 center, which is ours, and then the name of our center is the Center for Nanomedicine. So the IBS is aiming to be one of the top 10 basic science institute by 2030, and then it is modeled by the Max Planck Institute in Germany. So actually, the IBS Center for Nanomedicine in Yonsei University is very unique in terms of the location, because as you all know that we have like the basic science and engineering department, and then medical school and hospital. Actually, it is one campus, and it is a very good opportunity for the interdisciplinary sciences, especially the nanomedicine research. And then the IBS CNN at Yonsei University our goal is converging nanoscience and medicine to make new discoveries, and we are aiming for the world-class interdisciplinary research hub. So we also participated in this GEEF conference last year, 2023, and then the title at that time was Technology for Future Diagnosis and Human Infectious Diseases. And then we have several nice speakers at that time, and then we had like pleasant time and great discussion about the diagnosing technologies. And then so let me give you like brief idea about what's the Sustainable Development Goals, SDGs, actually, which is the one of the biggest goal in UN United Nations. And then the SDG, there are 17 goals, as you can see here. And actually, this session is designed to discuss the goal number 3, which is good health and well-being. And then the goal of this number 3 is actually ensure healthy lives and promote well-being for all ages. So we want to discuss it about it. And then we believe that the most important thing is the diagnosis of disease. And then in the diagnosis make differences. And then in worldwide, there's malaria. So after the COVID pandemic, then we are facing the surge of new diseases and probably disease X kind of things. The malaria cases increasing, and then some other like tropical diseases are increasing globally. And at the same time, in terms of the non-communicable diseases such as cancer, the early diagnosis is really important. And then as you can see this picture, the cases for the cancer detection at their stage 1 and number 2 is around like just like half. But the case is different depending on the type of cancer. And for example, lung cancer, it only like 3% is detected at in the stage number 1 or 2. So that we still have need to develop like more the diagnosis technology. And then recently, this news article says that the top 10 medical diagnostics trends in 2023, and then it shows that number 1 to number 10, and then from number 1 to number 5, it shows like artificial intelligence, diagnostic imaging, big data and analysis, and sensor and point of care testing. Such things are really becoming important these days. And then I think today maybe we hear something about these topics. So let me briefly, like 1 or 2 slides showing that our technology at the IBS Center, and then we developed the Nano PCR technology, which is a rapid PCR technology for infectious diseases. And then this picture, so actually this was the technology published in Nature Biomedical Engineering 2020. It is a one-part RT-PCR system, and it has automatic execution from reverse transcription, from rapid PCR and fluorescent detection, and it has like 17-minute operation of PCR process, which is really fast compared to the conventional PCR technologies. And then limit of detection, LOD, is also very low compared to that of conventional PCR, and then testing diagnosis is also very excellent. So this is the kind of a movie that I want to show you, is that the overall operation of our Nano PCR system we develop, and then you get some samples from the patient and then put it inside these prototype devices, and then you just push the button and just wait for like 14 minutes. And then it just automatically doing the reverse transcription process and then PCR processes, just like as you can see here. So this is the reverse transcription process with the temperature like 40 degrees C, and then PCR processes, thermal cycle from 60 degrees C to 90 degrees C, repeated about like 40 times. Yeah. And then like DNAs are amplified in this process, and then after that diagnosis and detection, which takes about like 3 minutes. We are using magnetic separation technology in here to separate the genes out of the solution. Okay, so that's our technology, and then let me introduce you today's speaker. And then the first one, Professor Hako Lee, and then Professor Soyeon Kim, and Professor Byung-Wook Choi, and Professor Soo-Jin Jung. So we are very excited to hear from these speakers, and then they will give you like a fascinating idea and then really nice researches about the diagnosing technologies. So thank you very much. Okay, so that Professor Hako Lee, I think I think you are connected, right? Okay, so also okay, we can see your face, and then please, start.
Okay. How about the sound? Can you hear me okay?
Oh yeah, that's very good.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much. Good morning, everyone. It is my great pleasure actually to join this forum and then particularly this session about the technology of how we can use new technologies and new sciences to actually combat the global health threat. And in this case, I chose the infectious diseases. I mean, you might say, well, infection, we have them under control. But I want to argue that no, this might be still the biggest threat or challenge to our to humankind. And I want to show you some examples and also want to convince you or give you some optimism that technologies are so advanced such that now we are ready to better prepare ourselves for the next or future pandemics or unknown diseases. I got the inspiration from the work by Dr. Robert Koch, who is shown on your left-hand side. So Dr. Koch in the late 19th century, so he actually established the relationship between the infection and the bacteria. I think he was the first actually who proved the relationship, and also he is the first scientist to photograph the bacteria. This photo is taken by him using his UV microscope, and this is, I believe, this is Anthrax pores. So his innovation or his the scientific achievement actually revolutionized how we deal with infection in the 19th century or 20th century or even now. And I say that we are maybe on the second, the point that we can make a second kind of quantum leap in terms of dealing with infectious diseases with all these new advances in science. So let's get started here. When you look back into the human history, we can say that we've been continuously battling with these infections. And this is one of the examples is the plague of Justinian. This is about 6th century AD. So this is the first written record of the Black Death or the plague that happened in the Middle East and also Eastern Europe. About 15 million people died from this disease in the span of just 2 years. Okay? And then this pandemic also, the plague continued and then ravaged Europe around the 14th centuries, and that's the famously known as Black Death, which killed, I believe, about 50% of the entire Europe population. And this kind of, the epidemics and pandemics continued even into the 20th centuries, such as the flu pandemic, it's called the Spanish flu, estimated 75 million deaths. And of course, we all vividly remember the COVID-19, just a few years ago, with about 7 million people perished from this disease. So all these records show that this might not end. Our battle with infection, it will be there forever. But there is one silver lining in our battle, which is that starting around the 20th centuries, we, meaning humankind, we started controlling these infectious diseases. And this chart is an example. So this shows the mortality rate, the death rate basically, from the infectious diseases per 100,000 people per year in the US. And what is really noticeable in this graph is the steep decline of this mortality. And maybe due to the, our better understanding of these diseases and also, increased awareness of the hygiene, and of course the introduction of the antibiotics such as penicillin. And around the 1960 and until now, the mortality rate is about 30 or 40 cases per year per 100,000 people. And this is actually a great feat. We almost now have this guy, the infectious disease, under the control. Do we really? Well, I can argue that maybe not. It's maybe too early to be complacent because there are warning signs out there even before the COVID-19 that the game is not over. In other words, the threat of infectious diseases looms large, it's still out there. And I want to introduce three major factors that actually increase those threats. The one is the increase or rise of the healthcare associated infection. In other words, you get infected while you are being treated in the hospital. And the increase of this rate could be due to the aging population. And as you know, the global population, we are aging, so we become vulnerable to those infections. Hospitals are getting bigger, so if there is outbreak in hospitals, then it can almost automatically, infect many people. The second important factor that increases threat is the overuse of antimicrobials or antibiotics. Well, antibiotics are actually relatively safe to use, and also they are being used only for a short amount of time. So there is a tendency to prescribe these broad spectrum antibiotics when patients show the symptom of the infection, because it's relatively safe, and it's better. You want to be safer than sorry, right? But that actually increases the chance of getting or developing the resistance. And furthermore, the biggest industry that use the antimicrobials is not hospitals. It's not the healthcare. It's actually the food industry. The livestock, the chickens and pigs and cows. They're getting a large amount of antibiotics. And when we consume those livestock, then in other words, we are also accumulating the antibiotics in our body system that increase the chance of the resistance. And then finally, the third aspect is the lack of the new development of the new antibiotics. And there is some economical reason. Here I show the comparison of the drug cost per single use. This is for single use. In case of cancer, the drug cost can from $60 to up to almost $8,000 for a single use. This is single dose. Compared to that, vancomycin and these antibiotics is only $4 per single dose. So this big price gap actually de-incentivized the pharmaceutical companies to develop a new drug against infection. Combined together, all these factors actually increased chance of the emergence of the antimicrobial resistance, or AMR. In other words, the emergence of the superbugs. And this threat is actually imminent. It's not just, it might happen maybe 10 or 20 years ago. No, this is imminent. And even last year, 2023, the United Nations published a report saying that by 2050, it's 25 years from now, up to 10 million deaths estimated from the infection or from the emergence of these superbugs. And that rate might overtake the death by the cancer. So infection still looms large as a potential #1 cause of death in the future. So that's the bleak sign or the warning on the wall. We gotta do something about this. Okay? And then the next question becomes, okay, what should we do? Where should we start? Well, going back to the drawing board, and we look at the way that we treat or combat these infectious diseases. There are three major steps. Of course, it starts with the diagnosis, the detection. Identify the patients and also identify the cause of the disease, the strains or bacteria or virus. And once the diagnosis is done, then go into the containment. You contain the patients to stop the spread of the disease, and at the same time, start the treatment. So looking at this in these steps, we see that it's clear. This combat start with the detection or diagnosis. Then how this diagnosis is done these days? Well, usually in this kind of system, we have this beautiful machine This is a very, very powerful machine that are installed in most major hospitals. And it performs the sample preparation and also the DNA amplification and produce the result. Great system, but there is a caveat. There are many caveats. But one is that you need to send the sample, right, to the central labs or central hospitals. That causes delays in getting the result, and also the assay can be expensive because you need the infrastructure to have this kind of system. So in some sense, this kind of method or approach is not scalable. It's very hard to deploy this kind of infrastructure for the global health. And also, it's expensive, it's not sustainable, especially in the low and middle income countries. So, diagnosis is the first step. The current method is too expensive and it's not sustainable. What should you do? And that's where the inspiration comes from the new sciences or new technologies. In this presentation, I'll highlight just one aspect of that, the science using the nanotechnology to enable this really fast and on-site detection. Okay? So, just really a basic principle of how we do this detection. It's called PCR. You're already familiar with this technology, polymerase chain reaction. We need to do this PCR because we want to amplify the nucleic acid coming from bacteria such that they become easier to detect. In PCR analysis, one of the key aspects is that we need to increase the temperature of the sample from, let's say, 60 to 90 degrees Celsius. And that process is essential actually to amplify the DNA or nucleic acid targets in the sample. The conventional way we achieve that kind of increase or heating of the sample is based on the conduction. In other words, as shown on the right-hand side, you place your sample in these tubes, and they put these tubes on this heating block. This is big metal block with a heater. And you heat this metal block such that eventually you increase the temperature of your sample. But as we experience in every day, when you put, let's say you want to boil water, and you put the water in the kettle, and put this kettle on the water, well, it will take about 5 to 6 minutes actually to boil the water, right? But if you make the direct contact, in other words, if you put the heater inside such that the water makes the direct contact with the heating elements, the heating time is much shorter. You can boil the water in about 2 minutes, right? So that's kind of aha moment. Well, we want to speed up that heating process in the PCR. We need to put these heating elements, the heaters, inside the sample. And what could be the candidates for that kind of heating? And here comes the nanoscience or nanotechnology. It has been shown that when you shine the light on the metallic nanoparticles, and then these metallic nanoparticles, they're so efficient in converting the light into the heat. And in one calculation, it will take only 10 nanoseconds, which means 10 to the minus 8 seconds, to convert the light into the heating, into the heat when you see the nanoparticles. So that was the kind of aha moment. And I was at the time collaborating I'm collaborating with the IBS at Yonsei University. And actually, I worked with the Professor Chair who's right in front of you. So we designed these particles, the nanoparticles, has this magnetic core and has this metal part outside. This is a gold nanoparticles, gold shell, and as shown in this figure. And we put these particles into our sample. So our sample now contains these nanoparticles, and you shine the light. And voila, we could increase temperature from 60 to 90 in 2 seconds, it's not 2 minutes, it's just 2 seconds, we can almost instantly increase the temperature. If I have used the conventional method and then use the big heating block, it will take about 2 minutes. But with this system, only 2 minutes. And furthermore, and you already seen this the system in the start of this session, because we are using now the light as a heating source, what you can do is, well, I don't need that big heater. I can maybe arrange this in the array of the pointers, laser pointers basically. So this is a laser diode over here. And then these diodes are now focused on this sample, and now they can just putting the sample on the focal point, we can heat up the sample and we can perform this PCR. And actually we have shown that we can complete this entire COVID-19 diagnosis under 20 minutes. And this technology has been validated even using the clinical samples or the samples from patients. So again, this is just one example how the new technologies can really help us to advance new diagnosis. And as Professor J.R. Lee mentioned, there are other technologies out there being developed. I mean, artificial intelligence, the CRISPR system, the gene editing systems, and we can really exploit those new approaches to bring a new innovation and actually the paradigm shift in the detection diagnosis. So let me summarize this short presentation. So here are key messages. Let's be on alert. Don't be complacent. Infectious diseases could be the most serious challenge still in the global health. But when you're dealing with this infectious disease, it will start with the diagnosis. The rapid and on-site testing is the key to really cope with this challenge. But the optimism is that the technical innovation are so ripe. I mean, many technologies are out there. So I truly believe the young generations, and I mean, we can do this. We can make really, the potent diagnostic system to better prepare ourselves for the next pandemic or next diseases. So with this message, let me stop here, and thank you so much for your attention.
Thank you very much for the nice talk, and that was really impressive. I think we can take question at the end of this session all together. So after all the speaker is done, and then maybe we can take the question. And then our next speaker is Professor Soo-Jin Jung. Then maybe we will hear a little bit about the different stories. As actually the Professor Jung is expert in the transplantation. Probably he will tell you a little bit about story about the infection during the transplantation. Is that right? Okay, so yeah, floor is all yours.
Thank you for mentions. Good morning, everyone. My name is Soo-Jin Jung in Division of Infectious Disease. Today's topic is nano and AI technologies in diagnosing disease. But unfortunately, my English is not good, and I don't know how much about nano and AI technology. So I'm going to talk about just infectious disease shortly. This is an usual definition of emerging infectious disease. It means infections that have newly appeared in population or have existed previous but are rapidly increasing in incidence or geographic ranges. In these days, we can hear more and more about emerging infectious disease through mass media. This slide shows the global example of emerging and re-emerging infectious disease. Red dots represents newly emerging disease, and blue dots represents re-emerging infectious disease. This picture was made in 2004, but we can already find the familiar name of infectious disease such as SARS, Ebola and human monkeypox, maybe. So many kinds of newly emerging or re-emerging infectious diseases are waiting for us. Since the 1980s, there were several epidemics occurs around the world. In 1970s, dengue started, and it is still in progress so far. And there was avian influenza outbreak in 1997, and SARS outbreak in 2002, and novel H1N1 influenza in 2009 as well. And recently, there is the recent MERS outbreak in 2015 in Korea and COVID-19 pandemics. So we are facing with severe epidemics. Maybe you know, from 2014 to 2016, Ebola outbreak in Western Africa has occurred. At that time, our countries and medical support, medical personnel too. But little is known about how this Ebola virus first passes to human, triggering waves or human-to-human transmission and epidemics. But initially, there was enzootic cycle first, and following initial human infection through contacts with an infected bat or other wild animals, and then human-to-human transmission occurs. There was MERS outbreak in 2015 in Korea, I said. It was from one tourist who was in close contact with infected camels. So MERS is an infectious disease in a faraway country, but it can be transmitted to Korea at any time. So there are some factors involved in the emergence of infectious disease: microbial factors and human factors such as immunity are considerable factors. I think environment change, environment change, especially climate change and increasing international troubles are significant factors, I think. This graph shows the historical global land ocean temperature changes from 1880s to 2009. Since 1970s, the temperature is rising rapidly and dramatically. So this is the effect of climate change on infectious disease. Climate change affected these factors: contamination of water and foods by bacteria, increase in number and activity of vectors like mosquito, expansion of infested areas. So as a result, we can expect these kind of effects: increase in water and foodborne diarrheal disease, or increase mosquito-borne infectious disease. This is an estimated population at risk of the dengue. Can you find our countries upside? Yeah. So let's look at the map of our countries. Our country is dengue-free area so far, but because of climate change, like global warming, it may transform into risk area someday. And this is the number of international troubles per year in Korea. This is increasing every year, and except during COVID pandemics. So after that, it covered before COVID pandemic. And
It's a slightly different stories. When we work the patients with fever unknown origins, we call it FUO. We have to consider the causes about infection, many kinds of causes, including infections, malignancy, or non-infectious inflammatory disease. And the causes changes over time. And among classic causes of FUO, the causes of infectious disease are so diverse like this. Most common cause, and uncommon cause. So this is final slide. For the treatment of patients with newly emerging infectious disease, re-emerging infectious disease, or fever unknown origins, we need good diagnostic tools first, and we need more accurate, faster, if possible cheaper diagnostic tools. So if you guys make it using nano and AI technologies, we clinicians can validate, and we happily use it. So last pandemic I didn't, but when next pandemic comes, I will buy stock in a company that makes good diagnostic tools as soon as possible. Thank you for listening.
Thank you very much, Professor Sujin. Yes, I think so. Our next speaker is the Professor Byung-wook Choi. He's the professor at our university, Yonsei University, at the Department of Radiology, and he's an expert in MRI. Actually, he will give some nice stories about how MRI can be used for the diagnosing the diseases, and also he's an expert in the AI system, so that he will discuss about how the AI can be used for in MRI. So okay, so thank you very much, and then floor is all yours, Professor Choi.
Thank you for kind introduction, and I would like to talk about artificial intelligence in imaging diagnosis. And I have been working in Yonsei University affiliated Severance Hospital for more than 20 years as a radiologist, especially in the field of cardiovascular imaging and chest radiology. Based on my expertise, I founded a company to make AI-empowered software for medical diagnosis in 2019. So I'm gonna briefly introduce the background of why I started the company and what the company has been developing for that. And medical diagnosis is the procedure and the process by which a doctor or healthcare provider identifies a disease or condition from signs and symptoms or medical history or results from various diagnostic tools. So this process often involves a combination of steps from clinical history, physical examination, to diagnostic tools and monitoring tools. So the invention of the X-ray by Röntgen it was 1895 showed a monumental leap forward in medical field. And this X-ray is developed to modern imaging technologies so without before X-rays, it is not possible to see the inside of the body for diagnosis of diseases. So if doctors wanted to see the inside of the body for confirm the diagnosis, it is it was inevitable to do a surgery. So medical imaging has progressed significantly from its origin in X-ray radiography to encompass all the modern technologies capable of highly detailed anatomical, functional, and molecular imaging. With exponential increase of number of medical imaging examination nowadays, it is great challenges for radiologists to keep up with the volumes, especially when relying solely the interpretation by naked eyes. So now we know that artificial intelligence can assist in this matter. In this situation, artificial intelligence plays a transformative role. So let me show the basic concept of artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence is an artificially defined concept for defining human-like intelligence. And machine learning is a group of algorithms that allows a computer to perform a specific task on data sets. And among these machine learning technology, deep learning is recently developed and widely studied and applied in medical imaging. And data is all we need, which is an important paradigm shift introduced by artificial intelligence. Deep learning does not require much domain knowledge or statistical insights to draw the conclusion or prediction or any kinds of results. And furthermore, the program trained by deep learning usually performs better than conventional rule-based program. And artificial intelligence has a potential to be disruptive innovation in medical imaging especially, for several reasons. Artificial intelligence performs better than human regarding knowledge, experience, and reasoning because artificial intelligence can be trained on wide range of huge data sets. That's the first reason. And AI, once developed, it can be deployed anywhere in the world, and it helping to democratize access to these kinds of very sophisticated diagnostic tool. And AI is beyond human sense, so AI program can detect invisible findings or patterns from imaging data sets. That is not possible by human naked eyes. And the first FDA-approved artificial intelligence-based software as a medical device came out on January 2017 in the United States and May 2018 in Korea. And next year, I founded my company. So the company name is Phantomix, and it's for artificial intelligence solution for cardiac diseases. Cardiovascular diseases are the #1 leading cause of death worldwide, and 1 out of 3 deaths worldwide are due to cardiovascular diseases. And in the past, it was Western country prevalent diseases, but it is now very frequently occur in low and middle income countries because it is because of globalization of lifestyle. So we developed 2 AI solutions for cardiac diseases. Heart is composed of 2 major parts. One is muscles, and the other is arteries. So two parts usually cause very serious diseases in heart. So the first target is myocardium, the muscle in the heart. That myocardial disease can be detected non-invasively by MRI, MRI is the best modality to accurately diagnose the myocardial disease. So that is very accurate, but it is underutilized because it is very difficult. It requires a lot of expertise and resources, and it requires a very long time for scanning. So we want to reduce all the resources necessary for this MRI usage. And the other is CT scan. CT scan is the best modality to identify coronary artery disease. Coronary artery usually has very small diameter, so it is not possible to accurately diagnose the stenosis of a coronary artery. So CT is the best modality. So we want to reduce all kinds of necessary for accurate diagnosis with CT. So that is two AI solutions. And so let me show you the examples. MRI usually takes about around 2 hours or more than 2 hours to complete the final diagnosis, from imaging acquisition, analysis, and the final diagnosis. And in this process, many people involved in these all processes, like radiographers, operators, and analysts, and data scientists, and finally the doctors, residents, and fellows. And so we want to reduce all kinds of these things, resources and time. So we reached the goal. So 40 minutes necessary for this all kinds of process because of AI power. And this is a software, and imaging diagnosis is possible with this software. Usually, manpower should be input to diagnosis or analyze these images, but it is possible without any intervention by human. It is automatically from the acquisition of the images to final diagnosis. That's the merit of this software. And it is very complex process. CMRs can acquire images, and then we need to classify the imaging types, and then segmentation should be done, and then we can analyze the regional and global imaging biomarkers there, and combine those informations, we can draw final diagnosis in 2 minutes. That is the AI power. And we internally validated the accuracy of this software for clinical meaning. So the accuracy is around 90% or more than 90%. So it is clinically acceptable range, I think. And there are many subsections for AI implication. That is, first is image generation. So we can generate new images that is necessary for interpretation or provide important information for diagnosis. So image generation is the beauty of nowadays generative AI. So we can generate new images or sometimes pre-existing images, so we can skip the image acquisition, real image acquisition, and we replace that real image acquisition and reduce the time for that real image acquisition, or we can avoid contrast media injection because we can generate virtual contrast enhanced images. And regarding imaging biomarkers, there are big obstacles. That is standardization. So AI is powerful for this standardization job too. And finally, we can generate report. And the report is very smart that can integrate all findings and information for possible diagnosis in priority. So next thing is CT scan. So we apply this AI technology to detect significant hemodynamically significant coronary artery stenosis detection in emergency room, because emergency room is lacking of experts. There is no working experts like cardiovascular imaging expert or cardiovascular imaging radiologist. So we need this kind of accurate and fast triage system in emergency room for the patient with chest pain. this is same thing. And our products are already approved by Korean FDA and US FDA. So in AI advancement, this is very important thing to know. Attention is all you need is the title of the groundbreaking paper published in 2017 by researchers at Google. So this transformer model it became the cornerstone of large language model, natural language processing. So you know that ChatGPT is now prevalent over the world. So large language model can be applied in medicine in several parts, including clinical application, research application, educational application. Now, this paper shows an embodied multimodal language model. So I think that we need to include all the information as possible as we can to draw the final accurate diagnosis in real clinical practice. So multimodal language model is necessary, including clinical information and imaging information. We can conclude and report an accurate diagnosis. So in the future, we will be using multimodal language model in imaging diagnosis too. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much, Professor. And our last speaker today is a Professor Soyeon Kim. Actually, he's a professor from Korea University as well as the CEO of PCL. So she is a great expert in vitro diagnostics. So she will talk about her stories. Okay, the floor is all yours.
Thank you. I'm so sorry, I'm really late. It's the traffic is very heavy. And thank you for inviting me here, Professor Lee and Professor Chun. And also, I'm very glad to be part of this program because we are very interested in this program because during the COVID-19, we supplied many kits to the country like the Middle East and Africa a lot. So I will also share some of our the experience during that field, during that period. And also we have some the engagement in AI, in the actual diagnostic field. I will introduce our experience with the AI applied diagnosis. And first I started with the company introduction. So our company is located in the Seoul, Songpa. It's far from here, the east side of Seoul. And we have two sites of a factory. One is in the Gasan, and the other is Hwaseong in Gyeonggi. And I found the company 2008 based on the technology I developed in the university. So our technology is based on the multiplex diagnosis technology. So based on that technology, I found the company 2008, and also company is the Costa listed on 2017, and also we started turning into profit company from the 2020 using the COVID-19 kit. And we are actually not only pursuing the human disease diagnosis, we are also pursuing the environmental disease, and also we are collaborating with Yonsei University here, and also we are also detecting animal health too. Our field is in vitro diagnosis. As you know, in vitro diagnosis is diagnosing the many diseases using the material from the body, inside the body, like blood, saliva, or urine, or many things from the body. So our focus is in detecting the virus. So to detect the virus, there are two methods. One is the RNA or DNA nucleic acid inside the virus, or the antigen or antibody of the virus. So we are actually focusing on the detecting antigen or antibody of virus. And using this technology, we developed a several system from the very big system which can detect many, which can be used in the large lab. And also we have developed a POCT and also self-testing. And for the future, we are trying to develop the device which can be used at home, like a medical appliance. So today I only focused on POCT device. Our technology is based on the soldier technology, which for the diagnostic, it's very important technology. It's how we can immobilize a biomarker. The new biomarker is also important, but after developing the new biomarker, we have to develop the technology which can increase the sensitivity and specificity by how we can immobilize the biomarker. Traditionally, people are using these two technologies. One is ELISA technology, which can observe the antigen or antibody on the surface. And also others developed the beads technology, which can covalently attach the antigen or antibody on the surface of beads. On this way, we can increase the specificity of the protein, antigen, and antibody by 50%. In our case, we can increase the 90% by encapsulating the soldier material. So by using our technology, we can increase the sensitivity by 1,000-fold, and also we can, with the same area, we can detect more than 64 diseases at one time. And also, since we have a very high specific activity of protein and the protein, we can lower the cost by technology. And we have a 3 platform focus on one POCT platform first. And also this our disease portfolio from the respiratory virus and also the high-risk virus transmitted by transfusion, and also some digital care program, and also we have the preventive medicine program too. So I'm going to focus on the POCT platform. So we developed the POCT platform which can be used as it is. So it's very small size, like a microwave size. We can use at the doctor's office without any other reagent. Only this one reagent cartridge is needed for this one. So this platform sensitivity and specificity is the same as a big machine in the laboratory. So this is how it works. You can just add the blood or saliva, anything onto the system. You can automatically detect the assay and detect the image by using algorithm. At this stage, we apply the AI technology. So applying the deep learning technology such as objective detection algorithm, YOLO, we change the current unstable algorithm to this algorithm. How we did it, we developed automated algorithm, apply this one. After that, we can improve a lot of sensitivity and specificity after this. Using this technology, so you can detect many diseases at the same time at the doctor office easily in 20 minutes. So it's one example. So you can detect AIDS, HIV, hepatitis C virus, syphilis, and hepatitis B virus at the same time. So with a sensitivity of 100%, and also limit of detection is same as the big machine, compared with the Abbott big machine. And also we can, using the same technology, we provide a pandemic solution during the COVID-19. First example is saliva. We use the saliva for testing, and we can provide to age from 0 to 99. So you can basically use all the age group who can spit. And also this can be higher than currently available. Sensitivity was higher than currently, tenfold higher than currently available technology. It is proven by the German Red Cross. And also we can detect not only the COVID-19, we can detect influenza A and B and COVID-19 antibody together. So this is used in more than 50 countries in the world, including Morocco and Kenya. So this is our 77 countries we use during the COVID-19. And using this technology, we also develop more to the chronic disease, such as diabetes. We actually collaborate with this Gangnam Severance currently. And we try to, another thing we also developed for disease healthcare is using the EMR data-driven research. We can predict, I'm sorry, it's Korean. So we can predict the thickness of the IMT, and we can predict the when the disease can develop before it happens. So this is a model we developed together with Gangnam Severance. And also using this technology, we try to provide full cycle digital healthcare using whole genome sequencing along with the post-genomic technology. So we are trying to utilize all the technology, not only virus screen, genome, epigenome, transcriptome, hormone prediction technology to provide the healthcare information for one healthcare platform. Thank you.
So thank you very much. And then due to the limited time, I think we can only take just one or two questions from the audience. So is there any questions? Oh, yeah.
Thank you so much. Very wonderful presentations. I have some very simple question. Recently, introducing the quantum computing technology. How do you think about the medical using this technology development, quantum computing technology? Thank you.
So, is there anyone who can answer this question? So, I don't know, like Professor Hako Lee. So, do you know about it? Do you know about these quantum computing things?
Well, because I majored in physics.
Yeah, you're from physics. Right?
Yeah. So when I was studying physics, there was no concept of quantum computing, but the basic that I know is that this is basically one key advantage of quantum computing would be the computational power. And we all know that in the case of the AI development, in the transformer models and other things, right now it's based on the more kind of sequential structural computing. It takes a lot of power, right? Because to store the information and also do the computation. Quantum computing may parallel meaning do the more or less kind of holistic computation, such that what it take like 1 hour could be done in, I'm just making this up, 2 or 3 seconds. It has that potential. Yeah, let me stop there. But there are still more way to go because how to control the quantum base. You need low temperature and so forth. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you. And then any more questions? Okay. So if there is none, I think we can stop here. So thank you very much. And then thank you very much for all speakers and then all you. Thank you.
Discussion, and following this, we'll take maybe a 15-minute break. Please take this opportunity to network, refresh, and prepare for the next compelling session. Thank you all.